See, I'm trying to find where the light is. All right. Today, we're going to do something sort of unique. And just FYI, I'm going to turn this around and show you that my grandson's here. Say hello, Kyle.
Hi.
And what I'm going to do is show you how to and talk to you a little bit about dry aging beef. My first video that I made the other day was my Oyster Rockefeller meal, and anyway, I was quite disappointed when I typed in Oyster Rockefellers and got about 500 hits out of YouTube. So I haven't typed in dry aging beef, but you may get a batch. I know you will, because that's where I get my information. But I will tell you this: if you're a beef eater, and if you're not eating dry aged beef, and you have the ability to do it, you're crazy. I mean, it's just totally phenomenal. What I have today is I have 2 pieces of beef. And oh my, this is some really big beef. I'm getting this from our local butcher, Brenneman's in Huntington, Pennsylvania. And I'm going to get this out and show you. This is what is known as, I want to make sure, oh yes, this is what is known as a short loin. And this is the loin that has the T-bones, porterhouse steaks in them, and generally much bigger. It has a very, I'll take this off and show you, it has a very large bone down the center here, which whenever you get it all dried and ready to cut up, it does cause a little bit of a problem. This piece of meat also, one of the things that's nice about this is that it's pretty much covered with fat. And that fat protects the meat in the dry aging process. And you see that's actually aged a little bit. Look at that though. Oh my. Look at that, the redness on that meat. This is a beautiful piece of meat. And this piece of meat is 22 pounds. So it's going to, the reason why I actually got this was because I'm going to move my steak. See, it's sort of dark here. I'm gonna move my steaks to a thicker steak. I've done this before, and I've cut my steaks about an inch, inch and a quarter. I'm gonna move them a little bit thicker so that I can control that temperature at which I get them done. So anyway, I'm not going to start with it. The process of dry aging is the same no matter how. I'm going to kind of, it looks like I'm not getting any light on, well, it looks about the same. Anyway, well, the point is the process of the dry aging beef is the same with whatever you get. When I first experimented in doing this, I went on the YouTube and looked at all sorts of processes, all sorts of videos, and they tell you not to try it with individual steaks. I've never done individual steaks. You may want to try it. There's processes out there where you put cheesecloth over a steak and you change it every day for the period of time. Go out and look at that. Now that I've done this with the full loins, I understand why. Because if you do an individual steak, both sides of your steak are being exposed to the air, of which will need to be trimmed off. So you have to have a pretty thick steak to have anything survive with the dry aged meat. Obviously, you can see this piece. This is a piece of meat, and it will be all the area it could be suspect is all of the area exposed to the air. And whenever you actually pull these back off in 34 days, you cut all this, you pretty much undress the whole thing. So, okay, I'm going to show you, we're going to take care of this piece here. We're going to open it up. It's very important when you go to the butcher shop. Wow, what a piece of meat. Oh my. When you go to the butcher shop, you need to know the slaughter date. Now, it just so happens the slaughter date on this piece of meat was several days ago, several weeks ago. So I think it's going to cut down on the dry aging that I need to go through. Now, no, actually, to be honest with you, no smell. Yeah, nothing. Look at that. Look at that fat. Boy, oh boy. The only thing that I'm looking for here is I want it to be dry. I don't want moisture on it. I want to dry it off. Any place that looks like it has moisture, but also one thing that I'm looking for is I'm looking for any place that a crevice or anything of that nature that may shield the bacteria if bacteria were to start. It's amazing. I think this is dark.
Now that you're getting sunlight.
Yeah. See if you can tilt that back a hair to get a little more light, or twist it or something. I'm just totally dark. Okay.
It's the sunlight now.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah. It's
Okay, go ahead and get this back in focus here. Push it more this way. That's good. Okay. I don't know. All right, we're just going to go. This is not a professional video process, believe me. As you can see, the whole thing is to be quite honest with you, I really think you people out there need to be doing this. If you are what do we call that, Kyle? Is it called a foodie?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a foodie. Okay, if you're a foodie, if you're into eating, which, by the way, if you're not, you should be, because it's about the only thing in life that you can count on, generally, that you will enjoy. All right, I'm happy. I mean, that's it. I patted it off. I'm looking at it. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. And to be honest with you, I'm going to now try to figure out, sometimes the most difficult part is try to figure out how to hang a 22-pound piece of meat. And what I'm going to do, now what I had to do on the last one, and I may have to do it on this one, is literally get a drill and drill a hole through the bone so it's strong enough to support the weight of this piece of meat. I'm looking here. There's a possibility that I can take a knife. This looks like some gristle, but I don't know if that will hold it. If it doesn't, I'm going to go in here to the actual bone, drill it so I can get, and what I'm using, by the way, are nothing more than bungee strap hooks. And because I can't find meat hooks, so what I want to do is hook that in, make sure it's secure enough, and make sure it doesn't fall. A piece of meat straight from the butcher. I'm going to go on this side and see if by chance I can find a hook, and I think not. I think I'm best with what I have on this side. So I'm going to try right here. This is one time your hands do get greasy, and I don't like them to, especially when you're handling a knife. I'm just going to see if I can just, I don't think this is going to do it, but it may. So all I'm doing, I'm sorry, you can't see this. I'm taking and just making a little hole back here, and trying to get that to be able to catch that piece of meat. Alright, let's see what happens here. Put this in. Oh, I can tell it's not going to work. It's going to go in nicely, but I have a funny feeling that it's going to rip out. Proof of the pudding, we're going to set it up. Look at that piece of meat. Set it up. I'm going to try to lift it. That's a take. That's a take. I think it will be alright. I'd rather do it this way. And some things you want to keep in mind when you're dry aging. First of all, your refrigerator should have a fan in it. It should be a newer type with a fan. If not, you need to provide a bit of a fan, a bit of an air motion. You want to keep that temperature in that refrigerator at 35 to 38 degrees there and abouts. And furthermore, it can't be your refrigerator. It can't be something that you're going in and out of all the time, where it will affect that temperature. And so you basically want to somewhat dedicate your refrigerator to this activity for as long as you're drying it. And you don't want to be in it all the time. I will probably check this meat in about, initially I'll check it in a couple of days to make sure that I'm not getting any mold or anything like that on it. It's just simply just drying. And then probably through the whole 34-day process, I will probably check it maybe another 3 times. Okay. Kyle? I was going to run and hook this thing, but I'm going to, since my grandson is here, I'm going to ask him to grab the camera, follow me out to the garage where we have an extra refrigerator, and I'm going to try my best to hang this piece of meat. So,
We'll stay there.
if you, are you going to